The first words of the Tao Te Ching are, "The eternal Tao cannot be spoken." So everything we're saying is nonsense. We're circumnavigating around the truth, and we're never going to be able to get there with words. So everything you read, everything you hear, isn't exact enough. We don't have the tools. I guess science is the closest we can get to getting exact about things, describing things. But these words, everything you hear, everything you listen to, it's all nonsense. So disregard everything that I say, just as a prerequisite. But I don't know. I like that idea because it puts some perspective. Everyone who thinks they know something is fooling themselves, or is just playing a big power game, which we all are. And we have to say stuff because you can communicate ideas well enough so that other people can understand them, or at least the other people can pretend that they understand them, or they think they understand them. But I feel like even when you try to describe an idea or try to describe something, you're not getting all of it. You're getting a piece of it, which most of the time is good enough. But I like that idea because I think it's just like puts it in perspective that we're all just fooling ourselves all the time. And I think that recognizing some of the absurdities in the world it's like people watching. Like you look around and you see people doing all these ridiculous things, and I don't know. It just it makes my life more fun. It feels like it's not so serious. And I feel like people always walk around with a stick up their ass, and I'm just like, yo, chill. Just nothing's that big of a deal. That's why I like Taoism so much, because the whole philosophy is just letting go and just going with the flow. And I don't want to sound too cliche, but I'm by the water, and it's if you think of a floating piece of wood on top of the water, that thing's just riding the currents, going over and working with the ocean. It's not trying to fight against the waves, even though it's a freaking plank of wood. It couldn't. But I think you got to follow nature. What are your teachers? Are your teachers the teachers in school, or are your teachers a selected group of people throughout history that you admire for their ideas, plus patterns that you see from the natural world, plus the insights that you've gained from looking inside yourself? And that's the number one thing. The first thing you have to do, I think, to gain any real knowledge is to look inside yourself. Everything you see outside of you, I think, is some big concocted dream-like simulation thing, abstraction that isn't real. I think what we're seeing with our eyes is a very low-level resolution image or video of what is actually out there. And however counterintuitive it is, I think the best way to understand what's out there is to look inside yourself. What applies to one person probably applies to everyone. It's the quantum laws probably, even though they play out on scales that are unimaginably small, they affect the largest things in the world. And even though we don't have a grand unified theory in that we're trying to combine, I guess, loop quantum gravity is trying to combine quantum mechanics, which is basically a theory that deals with the really small and the interactions between very microscopic elements, with Einstein's theories of general relativity that describe supermassive objects and large forces. And I'm not a scientist, so please don't quote me. I just hear shit and repeat it. So I don't know. You really shouldn't listen to me. But maybe if I keep learning, by the time I'm 80 or 180, which I hope to live to, I feel then maybe I'll be able to give some information that's actually useful to people. Because I think I know nothing now. I'm so dumb. But I like learning, and I know that. I've been writing a lot, which is fun. You have to do what you have to do what you enjoy. I enjoy talking to people, so I think having a podcast would be cool. I like writing, so I want to write. I like working out and doing all that stuff, so I do it. Most people think that they're in this disprivileged position, and I think you have to take that into account, but really you can do a lot more than you think. I see a hawk. You have the ability to do a lot more than you're doing. And it's so easy to fall into a cycle of just like mundane nothingness, meaningless, trivial tasks. But I think that's why you have to constantly come back to, I'm gonna die. I'm going to die soon. One day. I'm going to die. What is the point of all this? Why am I doing any of this? Why don't I just die now? Is there anything meaningful that I can do between now and the point that I die that I'm going to say, yeah, I'm glad I did that, and you're going to be able to say it honestly? Like, I guess, and so you have to find the shit that matters to you. You have to find that writing and talking to other people and learning and exercising and running and, I don't know, you have to find the stuff that you care about. And then dive into it. Commit yourself entirely to it. And it's so much easier to say than to do. But you'll feel yourself being pulled in certain directions. And you have to just work with that. I love my generation because they say it like it is, I feel like. There's no... I mean, there's a lot of pretending and so much fake. Everyone's fake. But at the same time, if you get to know people, if you're having people will tell you what they think, honestly. And you won't even have to try that hard. If you listen, if you just give yourself over to the other person just to listen to them, you'll hear some crazy shit that you never thought of before that's going on inside their head. And you'll probably see parallels between what's going on in your head too. But there's a lot to gain from listening to other people. That's like one of the, when you think of these pillars, like, I don't know, you have to you build a world for yourself, obviously. You simulate your own reality. You simulate all of this. Like, the tint of your glasses is colored by your thoughts and feelings pertaining to reality. So, one, you just have to think positively. Because I think there's going to be some type of manifestation that happens that brings more positive karma, circles back to you. Some type of cyclical process that no one understands, that is the eternal Tao that cannot be spoken. So that's something. That's the tint that you have to have. But then you want to, I think you want to create a philosophy for yourself, or at least a moral code in which you try to adhere by, in which that will allow you to lead and live a better life. That's basically what religions are. So many people take Christianity exactly word by word, following the gospel, which it tells you, which I'm pretty sure it tells you to do, and they're awesome stories. Those Cain and Abel stories, all the ones at the beginning, the flood, all of those are fantastic because they get right down at the very center of human nature. They penetrate so deep. They're so archetypal, which is awesome. But you have to add your own flair to these things you hear. You're interpreting all this data. You're learning all this shit from school. You're hearing the stuff that's happened throughout history. You're learning about different religions. You're hearing the new advances in AI and biomedicine and everything. But you have to make sense of it for yourself. You can't feed in to the narrative that's being fed to you. That's someone else's worldview. You have to create your own worldview. So it's basically what I'm trying to do. This is all just me speaking out loud to myself. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to me, and maybe my grandkids. I have no idea. But you have to first try to understand yourself. Seek to understand yourself. Try to gain a few insights. Know that you're nothing. Know that you're something because you exist, because you are. You think, therefore you are, and so you are something. You have some type of energy and life force to you because you're, at least in your own mind, and that's something. And you recognize that you're not those waves. You're me, and there's a car in here, and I'm sitting in it, and I have a body, and there's a consciousness inside that body. So take the insights that you gain from looking inside yourself, which is the chief thing, and then extract information from the world. Try to learn shit, and then feed it into that soup of ideas that you have about yourself. See how they work, see if there's relations, and you'll notice patterns. I mean, that's we're pattern machines. There's no wonder, think about what computers do. They are literally modeled after us. That's another crazy idea, that at least to some degree, the best AI systems are modeled after, no, not even to some degree, I think they're pretty much all modeled after our understanding of the human brain. Think about neural networks, that's literally just copying. That's why I think, like, if you find something that you're really inspired by, literally just copy it. Make your own version of it. Well, because you have to create stuff, or else there wouldn't be any more stuff. And not meaningless stuff. You have to create meaningful stuff that actually, like, benefits either you or someone else. And if it benefits you, it's gonna benefit someone else. So you got to take all these things at once. You got to deal with so much information, try to make sense of the world, and also move throughout your life. Like, you still have a job and kids and whoever you are, you still have responsibilities. But you have a responsibility to yourself to learn and make sense of the world. I think that's got to be number one. And I feel like a lot of people just go through the motions of life and just like say, yeah, I'm here, so I'm just gonna do it. And to some degree, that's perfect. That's exactly what you should be doing. That's like my dad's philosophy. I feel like he's just like, go with the flow, whatever happens. You're just gonna have to take it, which is great. And just life just is. So you just exist, which is so key. But also you want to learn about it, right? Isn't that like the purpose? Like if you think of human beings and yourself as a child of the universe, what are you here for? You're here to help the universe learn about itself, right? Or improve itself. Human beings are meant to learn and improve the mother universe, I guess. And I don't know, that connects you all the way back. That gives you some foundation. Because I feel like a lot of people just feel like they're just floating. And I don't know, it's easy. I feel like it's so easy to become nihilistic, especially like if you give real credit to like the many worlds theory or simulation theory, all these things, like they could make you think, what, like there's no purpose to it all. It's meaningless. Like I'm gonna die. I don't, like, nothing matters. I don't matter. Everything I do is just nothingness. It's all code. Or it's all an imagination, it's all a dream, it's not real. Okay, fine. But why does that make everything meaningless? That allows you to do anything you want, that allows you to exercise creativity in an unbelievable way, because you have literally no constraints. As long as, literally in our society, as long as you don't break the law, you can do whatever you want. Give yourself permission to be creative and to speak nonsense into a microphone that no one's going to listen to. Literally. Like, you have to give oh God, the societal pressures are so fucking annoying. Like, so many people care so much about what other people think of them that they're scared to do what they enjoy. Like, even me, literally everything that I say applies to myself in some way, like, because I'm so selfish. Like, everything, you're not going to talk about things that don't involve you at least a little bit. Like, I'm scared to restart a YouTube channel that no one listens to. I know that no one's going to listen to these, and so I just have to give myself permission just to go, just to be free, and just, like, I don't know. You have to treat yourself like someone worth helping. That's one of the first chapters of 12 Rules for Life. And I don't know, I try to live like that. You try to journal and read and take cold showers and saunas and eat healthy, drink green juice and drink water and keep up with your schoolwork and have good relationships. That's another thing. God damn, social media, the relationships are bullshit. You can't. It's just like, those don't count. They're just nothing. They almost are negative. They're almost negative. So you have to have friends and family. But if you don't have friends right now, it's okay. Because everyone goes through periods. Like, I've had moments in my life where I just, like, have not had very close friends before. Or else my close friends, like, weren't around. And I didn't feel connected with them. But just give it time. Like, if you seek to improve yourself and do all these things that we're talking about and that we learn about, good things are gonna be attracted to you. That's like, if you work hard, other hardworking people are just gonna manifest themselves in your vicinity. That's what I think. So I think like you gotta frame things, like do things selfishly. Like, get good grades in school because it's gonna make your life easier. Do whatever you want on the weekends because that's a right of yours, but it's like that has to be as like a reward. And I feel like I've heard someone say like using pleasure as a reward isn't the way to go, but why not? Why not? Because get yourself to do hard shit and have a cue, have something, what is it? Cue, habit, response, something like that forms good habits, that 3-step thing. If you have something that like validates all the hard work you're doing, that's awesome. I don't know. I really don't like making these when other people are around. I get so scared. I don't know why. Hi, buddy. I just like, my girlfriend Willa always thinks that, I don't even know why I'm saying my girlfriend Willa. I'm literally talking to myself. Willa says that I sound holy, and I'm like, or at least she has before, and that is so cringy. Like, I hate when people like sound like they know it all. That's why I'm trying to say that I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm literally just like brainstorming and like throwing out different ideas. That's the whole point of this, is just to allow yourself to be free. Like, allow yourself to be free. I don't know. That's what I think you gotta do. Allow yourself to be yourself and look inside yourself. Careful that you don't have schizophrenia or any underlying mental health conditions, but if you don't, go deep. Like, go inside the maze of your psyche. There's so much shit lurking around in there, and I guess that's what I'm trying to do. But meditation's better. But you have to be able to expunge it, if that's a word, or if that's the right word in this scenario. You have to go really deep and then journal or talk it out and just get it all out of you. You can't have all that shit rattling around in your head. That's why I like a little back and forth meditation and journaling. Oof, that's a money combination, especially after a sauna or something. Read, journal, meditate. Some combination of those. Oof, it's a money combination. You're gonna get insights that you've previously been unaware of. So go deep. That's the message here. Max depth out. It's a beautiful day. Not really. It's actually cloudy, but we're loving life and feeling a little bit isolated. So tell someone you love them, and I don't know, pass on good vibes. Peace out, guys. I'll catch you later.